it is I, Joss from gak.co.uk. Today we are amongst some brand new, beautiful real estate. We are lucky enough to have the brand new 2016 Gretsch Streamliner collection of guitars. So what we're going to do is we're going to run through the 3 models that I've managed to grab before they sell or go down to the store. So what I have with me in my hands right now is the big boy, the big bodied version. This is the single cut out of the Streamliner collection. So let me just run you through the specifications. What we have is, body wise, we've got laminated maple at the top, back and sides, fully sized humbucking style pickups. Then we have our sort of EQ, got master volume here, so which is really nice to have there as well. And then we have our 3-way selector switch. The neck is NATO, which I believe is a form of, or like a style of mahogany, I think. Then we have the Rosewood Fretboard. A really nice touch with, which I really like, is the really big sort of the fret markers, like the almost sort of 70s style fret markers, which is really, really tasty. And then another thing that I really like, it just says Gretsch on the headstock, nothing else. Doesn't say Electromatic or Streamliner, nothing like that, just the Gretsch logo, which is a really lovely thing as well. So we're just going to play them. We're going to go through all 3 models and we're going to see what they sound like. I'm running the guitar into my favourite amp at the moment for sure, which is the Roland Blues Cube Hot. I have my lamp, I have my everything set up, so let's give these guitars a go. So as I said, first we're going to try the single cut version. So a beautiful, big, thick, dark sound that you get from, you know, such a big-bodied style guitar. The awesome thing is as well is that with this model, obviously the sound is plugged in. So it sounds beautiful like that, but you can also practice with it unplugged. So it's a really, really loud guitar, considering it's a fully hollow style guitar. So let's try out the 2 pickups at the same time. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So that was the 2 pickups at the same time. Now let's move on to the bridge sound. Now for such affordable sort of guitars, basically the Streamliner collection of guitars are going to now be the entry-level versions of what you can buy a hollow body style from the guys at Gretsch. So for such an awesome priced piece of equipment, it moves and it plays so beautifully. Like most Gretsches that I pick out, whether it be a £200 Gretsch or a £2,000 Gretsch model, they play superbly. So that was the single cut version. Let's move on to the double cut. Cool, so we have moved on to the double cut model. So let me run you through the specifics of this one. So what we have is, apart from obviously the obvious, is that we have a Bigsby licensed tremolo system on this double cut here. It's nowhere near as thick as the single cut version. So as I said, we've got the double cuts, we've got the three-way selector switch, we've got the laminated maple body, we've got the master volume, and then obviously the band EQ here. And then, yeah, so we've got the NATO neck, Rosewood Fretboard with the massive block inlays. Once again, another loud guitar. Something that you can mess around without being sort of plugged into an amplifier. So let's do the same thing as we just did with the single cut. Let's mess around with it. Let's play some stuff on it. So yeah, let's start with the neck pickup. So the main thing that I have to say with these guitars is that obviously I'm playing them clean at the moment, and I will endeavour to put in the boost button and see what they sound like with a little bit of drive on them, especially these two models. But they sound absolutely amazing clean. They sound so rich, so vibrant, so tasty. So let's move on to the next selection of pickups. Let's go for the two at the same time, the middle selection. Just awesome sounding guitars. I know the amp sounds great, but obviously you need a fine instrument to make it sound good, and this really does make it sound good. So let's check out the bridge on the double cut. So let's push in the boost function, boost, and see what they see what this guitar sounds like with a little bit of drive on it. So I mean, obviously I'm not using a lot of drive there, I'm just using it to accentuate that thickness and the darkness that comes from something like this guitar. Really, really love it. So let's move on to the final model, which is the double cut junior sized guitar. So here we are with the final guitar. This is the double cut junior. One thing to say that the two double cut models have got center blocks in them as well to sort of, if you do want to use a little bit more drive, then they allow you to do that only for the reason of having the hollow, completely hollow wings, but having a center block as well. So what do we have? We have a much smaller body, as you can see there. A much smaller body than the standard double cut model that we see. It's got the center block, it's got the laminated maple top, back and sides, it's got the broad Gretsch pickups in there, three-way selector switch, the same EQ that we have on the other two, and then the master volume. Once again, we've got the Bigsby licensed vibrato trem on there. NATO neck, which, as I said before, I think is a style of mahogany sort of wood. Rosewood fretboard with the big block inlays, and then the Gretsch symbol there as well. Just a really, really lovely looking and sounding guitar. Obviously not as loud as the others. Still, you know, could mess around with it, but it's nowhere near as loud as the other two. Well, we're on the neck pickup right now. We're going into the Blues Cube Hot on a clean sound. So let's see what it sounds like. Once again, a beautiful sound coming from these unbelievably articulate and dark, warm-sounding guitars with all the help from the Blues Cube. Just sounds awesome. Sounds like they were meant for each other. Stunning. So let's move on to the next selection, the two pickups at the same time. So, and finally for the clean sounds of the double cut junior, let's go on to the bridge pickup and play the same that we did with the other two. So you can have some sort of comparing between the three models. Beautiful. So what we did with the other standard double cut model, let's press the boost button and see what it sounds like with that sort of touch of drive to it. Just fantastic sounding guitars, all three of them. So that was the Gretsch, the 2016 brand new Gretsch series guitars, the Streamliners. So we've got the double cut junior model, then you've got the double cut model, which have the tone blocks running down the middle. You can have them as the Bigsby models or just a standard trem style guitar, a Bigsby model, sorry, or a hardtail model, sorry. And then we had the big one here, which is the single cut bad boy. So yeah, all the guitars were running through the Blues Cube Hot. Make sure to check that video out as well. We've got one of those up. It's probably my favorite amp at the moment. So yeah, check it all out. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.